In this video, we're going to be talking about what $600,000 will get you in the Midlothian area. Make sure you stick around to the end so I can tell you about that secret spot that everyone is making a beeline to. You're not going to want to miss it. Hey guys, this is Erin. If this is your first time to our channel and you want to learn all there is to know about living in Richmond, Virginia, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and make sure to ring that cute little bell so you're notified every time we release a new video. So let's get to it. All right, you want to buy a house and you're looking to spend about $600,000. Where are the spots that we're going to be checking out? One neighborhood is most definitely going to be New Market. New Market is a section of Rountrey, which you'll probably hear already that we'll be talking about. But the nice thing about New Market is we are going to be focusing on that $600,000 price range. You're actually going to get a decent sized house there. You know, the thing is though, if you need to get something larger, be prepared to be etching up against the $1 million range in New Market. For that house, you know, what are you going to get? It's going to be, I'd say, over 3,000 square feet, excuse my tongue. You'll have at least 4 to 5 bedrooms and at least 2.5 baths. You very well might be having 3 baths as well. Parking, you'll have a good size, double-sized driveway. You're gonna have at least a 2-car garage. So those are givens. You don't have to worry about that in New Market for sure. As for any kind of renovations, most of these homes are gonna be fairly new, of 5 years or less, and they're still building over there for sure. So you may have just some things that are great about being in a neighborhood. If you buy a resale, a newer one, it's like you'll have all the custom, really nice blinds. You'll have the great fans already in there. They've probably established all the landscaping, so you don't have to like get in that whole lot like you do for a new thing. But any kind of updates or customizations you have there, maybe like a butcher block, center island, or some really custom mirrors or light fixtures are going to be very much on trend. You're not going to be finding any old yucky brass things. You might be seeing some gold fixtures, but they are definitely going to be the new brushed, really pretty stuff that you're seeing for sure. As for kitchens, if you love to cook, or even if you don't love to cook, you just like the idea of having a really great, really great kitchen with all of the beautiful state-of-the-art appliances and all the beautiful countertops. You're gonna love anything you can find, even in the $600,000 range, for pretty affordable for a newer house for sure. Housewarming, okay. So one of the things that is a little bit difficult of this particular neighborhood is these are big, beautiful houses, but you have got little teeny lots. And because these houses are so big and beautiful and wide and thick and what have you, you don't have much yard. That also equates to not a whole lot of parking on the streets. Yes, you're gonna have driveway parking for sure, but you're probably gonna wanna check in with your neighbors so you don't piss everyone off, to let them know you're gonna be having a party so that nobody's parking in front of driveways or what have you. There are a lot of streets for sure. Just keep in mind that the houses are very tightly packed together. So that's important to know there for sure. Okay. Favorite spot to go eat and for entertainment that's right by New Market? I would say there's a great little shopping center, Waterford, that is right off of Geneto, and it's the Grill at Waterford. That would be a wonderful one to go. And they do stuff for breakfast, they do stuff for lunch, and they do stuff for dinner. And then at certain times, like on Fridays and on the weekends, a lot of times they'll have a live band that's in there, which is really interesting to me when I've seen it, because it's not a real big giant place, but really friendly. Everybody kind of knows each other in there. In fact, if you're not a local, they'll know you for sure, but they're still gonna be nice to you for sure. So good entertainment and good food for you as well there. Shopping, I mean, gosh, you've got everything right along Hull Street right there. Anything you need, you've got it right there. The world is your oyster. You also have Chesterfield Town Center, which is right on 60, which is really easy for you too. Recreation. If your kids are into sports, or even if you're into sports, you've got a great field up there with the artificial turf that you can go up there. They also, even right up the street, which is really, really fun, is they do even have a little racetrack. I'm pretty sure they're still running those now post-COVID. Well, I guess we're still kind of in COVID for that matter. The vibe. I guess my greatest memory for Newmarket is obviously you're seeing this, all the new homes going in there. It's fun to see all the different styles, but my favorite thing is definitely the clubhouse. So before they built this clubhouse, you only had the really beautiful one that was over in Rountrey. And Newmarket, no matter what, even though it's part of Rountrey, they are not actually attached. So if you are going over to see your friends over in Rountrey, you're definitely going to have to get in your car. Believe me, you do not want to try to walk on that road in between. I've tried it before, picking up trash, and you're really lucky I'm here to actually continue to do these great videos for you, because I almost got hit several different times doing that. But the clubhouse is absolutely beautiful, and we got really lucky when they actually opened up the pool in the clubhouse. We got invited to a very exclusive soiree. It was actually a murder mystery dinner that was hosted by the developer, and everybody came in like dressed up roaring 20s. Super fun for my entire team, and I think all of us were actually playing roles within the murder mystery. Really great food, super, super fun. It is a lot smaller than the one that's over at Rountrey, but it's very cool and intimate. And they have outdoor seating, lots of different spots there. They have a great bar and kitchen in there that you can rent out and do different things, and then a wonderful pool outside as well. Even though it's small, it is mighty. The other thing they do here on a regular basis, even though it's the smaller one, is every spring they bring in a bunch of food trucks, and they also bring in like beer trucks too, and a bunch of like petting zoo animals. Super, super fun. And I know, frankly, I don't know if it's really just for people in Newmarket. I know there are a lot of people, because I know where I sold them a house, that come from right around that area and come over to that thing every spring to see the petting zoo and to get the beer trucks and also the food trucks. So super, super fun. If you like a fun, active neighborhood community and you want to be in a newer house, but you're okay with your lot not being giant, but you still have a little bit of backyard, Newmarket's the spot for you. Let's say you wanted to go over to the Foxcreek neighborhood in Midlothian, Virginia. For $600,000, you're going to get a decent house. In fact, you can get a pretty great house for under that. If you needed something larger, so I'd say you're kind of in the, I'd say you're towards the larger end there. But if you need to get a real big boy that has a finished third floor and a finished basement, you have that option over in Foxcreek. Be prepared that you're going to be getting closer to the $1 million range for sure. Everything in Foxcreek is going to be at least in the 600,000 range. You're going to have at least 3 to 4 bedrooms. I'd say more likely you're going to have 4 to 5 for sure. You will have the possibility of doing a basement, and actually the possibility of a finished third floor for sure. You're going to have at least 2.5 bathrooms, and I would say you're going to be 3,000 square foot plus. All of these places are going to have at least 2-car garages. Many of the communities may have actually like a little alleyway in the back way, and you might have even a rear loading garage as well with some driveway space. Yards, decent size in Foxcreek, depending on what section you're in for $600,000. I would say that you're going to get at least, I'd say about a 1/4 acre or so. Lots of pretty green grass. As for renovations, all of these homes were built very recently. Like the oldest home over in Foxcreek, I would say maybe the early 2000s. Most of them are going to be newer. So any kind of renovations, maybe let's go back to the ones that were built in the early 2000s, because let's face it, that isn't yesterday anymore. I can't believe that. The renovations you're going to see of them are going to be top notch. If people decide that they're going to renovate their bathrooms or do their kitchens or their fixtures, they're bringing in really nice. You won't see cheapy stuff. This isn't going to be you're not going to find flips in this neighborhood. This is definitely owner occupied, and then they're improving things that they need to be done. So probably with those, you're probably going to be seeing new heating and cooling systems, nice new roofs, and they're going to be using quality things for sure. Definitely on Foxcreek for a housewarming party. People are going to love coming to your community. You're not going to have any problems with any kind of parking, and they really did lay out this community very well with multiple entrances. And it's one of those cool communities, one of the newer ones that they put the cool roundabouts. You know, us Americans think we're super cool and cultured when we stick in our roundabouts. And Foxcreek, though, I think we actually know how to use them. They laid it out properly. So plenty of parking, no problem whatsoever. And that's the thing, nice wide roads throughout the entire community. So even if you didn't let your neighbors know that you have a bunch of people coming over, they're not going to care because there's plenty of space. Favorite spots that are close by for food. I would say for Foxcreek, there is the Beachcombers Cafe or something like that. It's over in the, I always blank on these things. It's right there on the corner of Otterdale with the great big giant Publix, and that is a really nice Publix, by the way. Really, really nice store. I like looking for excuses to go in there and get balloons, flowers, and those amazing cookies that they have. God, they are my kryptonite. But a great little restaurant there that also is very much family owned. In fact, I just learned very recently that one of my good friends in the Brandon Women's Club, her son actually owns that restaurant. I had no idea. Super cute, very beachy vibe. You actually will feel very OBX, indoor and outdoor seating for sure. They also have some live music during that time for sure. But for other kind of entertainment, there is actually a great spot there. Amber Hill. There is a great neighborhood, great venue where you can go to have lunches. A lot of people do weddings there. The grounds are just super pretty. So I look for any excuse that I can go over there, which is right down the street from Foxcreek. So super nice for any kind of weddings or big parties that you get invited to for sure. Recreation, everything you can think of. In fact, you don't even have to leave the neighborhood. I think with some of the neighborhood things in Foxcreek that people have a little bit problem with is that the lots are kind of smaller, definitely not like the Highlands. These are small lots or even smaller than the ones that I mentioned before, but they do have a ton of little break-off parks. Little dog park, they've got the swim park for sure, and then a couple different little playgrounds and play fields or whatever, so you don't even have to get in your car. Everybody's walking, riding their bikes, rollerblading, taking the dogs up there and playing around there for sure. The vibe of the neighborhood. Here's one thing that I definitely notice around the holidays. And some people might really like this, and other people might be like, this is totally creepy. I'm kind of on the fence. All my people that live in Foxcreek absolutely love it. But there are a couple different sections that in the holidays, everybody gets the exact same color lights, and they're not even the white lights. They were all like the same color red around the branches, and then they had blue lights along the bottom part. It was interesting. It definitely brought everything together. I felt kind of like maybe I was going up to DC and looking at all the lit trees. So that was kind of a cool thing. I just don't know if I'm quite on the red and blue lights. But that's the great thing to know is, though there's a homeowners association, there is a great vibe. There's a family community sort thing. Everybody's looking out for each other, and they like to do fun things together and make everything look the same. Hey, that's great for some people. All right, $600,000 in one of the most popular spots in Midlothian would definitely be Rountrey. I know we already kind of touched on this one before, and we're going to talk about this one ad nauseum so many different times in different videos because it's just so great. So we talked about it, that it is that Newmarket is a part of Rountrey, but Rountrey proper is in a great spot. For $600,000, you're going to get a decent size home. However, if you are looking for something larger, be prepared that you're going to be in the 8, 9, into the million. The coolest thing about Rountrey is they actually have a section now that you can get modern homes. And when I say modern homes, I'm talking about the styling and the fit and finish as like you'd find in big metropolitan areas like Denver, like certain parts of Northern Virginia for sure. So if you like that style, you actually have that option here in Rountrey. You're going to be expecting, for $600,000 a Rountrey, you're definitely going to be at least a 4 to 5 bedroom. I wouldn't say that you are the largest home in the neighborhood for sure, but you're definitely going to be getting up there. At least 2,800 square feet, at least 2.5 bathrooms. You'll have a 2-car garage minimum and your own driveway. Much like Newmarket, Rountrey is not known for its giant lots. In fact, they're all going to be pretty small, but it does make for a really cool community for sure. Age of homes, Rountrey was, and to be very clear, and for many years, it's really rotten as a realtor not even saying it right. I would always put I'd say Rountrey because that for whatever reason just sound easier to come off the tongue, but it is technically Rountrey, fancy. But yeah, houses were built early 2000s. I would say most of them would be kind of mid 2000, and then they are currently ongoing, still build. Styling, you're going to see a lot of craftsmen, a lot of farm style, and that's really the pool besides those other modern ones you're putting in there. That's generally what you're going to see. Nice kitchens, nice bathrooms. If the older, and when I'm saying older, early mid 2000s, if they have been upgraded, like some of these other neighborhoods, they will be upgraded with really nice things. You're not going to get some cheapy stuff. Again, you're not going to see it flips over in this neighborhood, so when people put nice things in, it's going to be the stuff they want. The quartz countertops, the really nice fixtures, nice fencing. I see lots of really pretty outdoor spaces in Rountrey, and you don't even have to be one of the model homes. Rountrey has the prettiest model row, and most of those ones have been sold now and they've moved over to other sections of Rountrey, but it still has that really cool feel. And I know people love that. So if you like outdoor space, you have more of a likelihood of finding something in the 600,000 range that floats your boat over there. Oh, food, actually over in Woodlake. So right down the street, really yummy stuff, super affordable. They have the best happy hour stuff, lots of fun things that they run during the week. So great Mexican food. They also have live entertainment on certain days of the week, and I actually know that they have dancers that come out and do things, I think throughout the week. You just never know when they're going to be doing stuff for you. Tons of shopping, just like all the other ones. I mean, you are literally up the street. You've got everything right off of Genito, everything right off of Hull, and because of where you sit, you actually are super convenient. If you shoot up Woolridge, be connected with everything over on 60 as well. And that's all big name things, Target, multiple Walmarts actually on both sides, Lowe's, Home Depot, all of that stuff, and then a bunch of cute little mom and pop stuff. Vibe. Love Rountrey, and particularly if you love being in an active community. If you are looking for an amenity-rich community, this is the one for you. Sidewalks everywhere. The clubhouse is to die for. Beautiful inside. They're always doing something fun over Rountrey. If it's the holidays, you'll see people that are participating in trick-or-treating. They're going to have a cute lantern on top of their post. If it is around 4th of July, you'll have all the different flags up there. They're always doing fireworks, right over at Brandermill, over the Swift Creek Reservoir, so super close. Nice thing about Rountrey too is they actually have a little teeny pond, and they have little spots. It's a first come first serve, and the waiting list is kind of long, but where you can put your paddleboard, your kayaks, your canoes in, and it's right there by the water, and a bunch of little trails that run all through all the woods. And if you didn't know about it, you wouldn't know it by looking at the community, because you just see little woods out to the side, but it's mostly houses like tick right around the corner sort of thing. Super cute craftsman look, as I noted before, and that's I think what everyone loved about Rountrey. Big giant pool, the big slide, always active. It's always crowded, and then fun events. They're always doing different kind of races. They're always doing something at Easter. Mentioned about the different stuff with the food trucks coming in. They tend to be doing that over actually at Newmarket. They've moved that over. And the Tacky Light Tour. That's a really fun thing that they always do at the holidays. People that are going to participate, they are going to have a little list that you come up to the clubhouse, you get your cocoa, you get your picture with Santa, and then you can go out and check out all the lights and then rate things. And of course, they do a prize for different things. So I love that sort of stuff. And super active swim team as well. Rountrey is definitely a spot that if you are looking for the epitome of communities, of always something going on, everything's always bumping, it's a good spot for you. Particularly 600,000, you're gonna get a great house. Great Midlothian, Moseley, whatever you wanna say, neighborhood would be Summer Lake, and you can get a great house for 600,000. And I'll talk to you about a great example for some wonderful folks. For 600,000 in Summer Lake, you're going to get, I would say the house is gonna be in the mid-range for the neighborhood. Be prepared if you need to get a larger home. You're stepping into the millions. And in fact, they have a beautiful Homerana Street over in Summer Lake that had a lot of actually some of the modern homes and some beautiful, amazing styles. Clay Street Builders even had its own little separate pub off of this one. Oh my God, that thing is the most cute thing in the world. I wouldn't have it as a pub. I would make it into my luxurious she shed, but to each their own. You're gonna have at least 4 to 5 bedrooms, at least 3 baths for 600,000. Your yard, good size, 1/3 of an acre at a minimum over in Summer Lake. So a good option if you're looking for something with a little bit more yard, but super centrally located. Parking, no problems whatsoever. You're going to have at least a 2-car garage, and because Summer Lake has some roll and topography to it, you're actually going to have a nice long driveway, even if it has a little bit of a slope. Tons of parking. Big wide streets. No one's going to get mad at you if you throw a party, even if you don't tell them. Plenty of spaces to park, and in fact, you've got a big giant clubhouse that has a huge several leveled parking lot that would be a great overflow as well, depending on where you live in the neighborhood. Anything that is, the houses for the most part, I'd say in Summer Lake, all of them are going to be, you know, there are some older sections of the neighborhood that would maybe be like late 90s, early 2000s. Most of the community, though, was developed more into the, I would say, within the past 10 years and currently very rigorously building. This is a neighborhood that had a particular section that was very well established, but much like many of the neighborhoods in this certain portion of Chesterfield County, that it was kind of like everything else had to kind of fill in, and a lot of people needed to find out about this best kept secret section of Midlothian, which is kind of called Moseley. But I love it now that you're watching things just build like crazy in there. For $600,000, to give you an example, my folks actually built a brand new house that is over 3,000 square feet. Most of the living is on the first floor, though they have a second story with 1 bedroom and a full bathroom there. So they have 3.5 full bathrooms. Big giant side-load garage, nice wide, deep driveway, and a screen porch. And that was right around $600,000. So like I said, your bang for your buck goes really far in the community. All right, favorite places to eat around there. I think from where that property sits, I'm probably going to be leaning more towards over Route 60, maybe heading over to, like, you know, Mellow Mushroom, First Watch for brunch. Those are probably some of my favorites. The different things they're doing right off of Huguenot Road. Shopping, another. Even though you're technically right in between Hull Street, right in between 60, where you're sitting, I would opt more to go to 60, which is great because you can hit Wegmans right over there. One of the bird shops is right there. Just a lot of the nice newer developments, and maybe not get caught up on all the mess that's over there on Hull Street. Recreation, lots of different parks and spots within the neighborhood. If you like to walk, they've got a great pond in there, different trails that run all over the place. You've got an awesome clubhouse, as I noted, with a beautiful big pool, workout room there, lots of wildlife. I think also with them having, even though they're building a lot in that, certain areas right now, so much of the trees and the woods have been preserved, so lots of wildlife watching, all your deer, all your bunny rabbits, all your beautiful birds. Oh, and you're in Midlothian. All right, you're in Moseley, but close enough. You're gonna see those red-headed woodpeckers that we don't see anywhere else except for Midlothian/Moseley. $600,000, I would be remiss if I did not bring up the Grove. Now, for years, again, this is great to know that us realtors also will class things into certain sections. For years, the Grove, I just thought was another part of Charter Colony. Well, it is its own little entity, and it's a great neighborhood. I think why people really like the Grove is you do have a little bit bigger lots and it has a more estate feel. For $600,000, you're gonna get a great home. If you wanna go higher, I think you could still stay under $1 million in the Grove, but we're probably pushing it now. Houses were typically built in the early 2000s. You'll have at least a 3 or 4 bedroom for $600,000, at least a 2.5 bath, 2.5 car garage, decent sized lot, but I would say a 1/4 acre, maybe pushing it. Super centrally located because you're right off of Charter Colony Boulevard. You are literally by everything. If things have been improved, another neighborhood where you're not going to be seeing a bunch of flips, people are going to be putting nice things. Quartz countertops, they'll be putting the really nice appliances in, the nice fixtures for sure. Probably updating the bathrooms and putting one of those cool slipper tubs in there, and probably tiling, pulling out the inserts for their walk-in showers and tiling those and making really nice, and probably adding some of the rain heads. A lot of freestanding vanities that when they pull out the old cabinets that are like the low height, bringing things more up to that comfort height, and putting some really nice countertops for freestanding with some pretty fixtures and mirrors for sure. You'll like the different things there. Okay, you're throwing a party. make sure you tell your neighbors, because the lots are a little bit larger than they would be over in Charter Colony, but it's still going to be a little tighter. The Grove, it is one of those neighborhoods where they kind of fan houses out in little, off of little sub cul-de-sacs, so that probably helps with the parking a little bit more, but just you'd need to keep in mind with not parking in front of people's driveways for sure. Entertainment and food, you literally have everything right there. Well, if you are a fitness buff, you could walk to the YMCA that's right there on the corner right up the street. You've got a ton of different little restaurants. There is the, oh my gosh, what is it? I think it's the Harvest Bread Company, cute little cafe right around the corner. They have specials every single day, the best little pastas, the fresh baked bread, and great chicken salad. Oh, the yummiest soups too. It doesn't look like much. Make sure you go into the shopping center to check it out. But it's one of those that it's like all the locals know it. And I happened upon it once when I was going over right across the street to get my hair did. You have tons of parks right there. You literally could walk or bike right out of the Grove, stay on the sidewalks, and go down into the mill parks. If you like the Richmond tradition, well, you don't live here, so maybe you don't know about that. Tacky light tours, that's big during the holidays. If you like that, this would be a great neighborhood for you to live in, because you're literally smack right where they do all the tacky light runs. Now, nobody really runs. A lot of people, actually there are a couple of people that are running. Good for them. Most people are walking, most people are drinking, and just have ridiculous lights and decorating themselves all over the place. And then of course, everybody's got everything all decorated with their tacky lights. Lots of good fun during the holiday for sure. The Grove, the vibe is definitely very, very close, tight-knit, friendly. But you know, just a normal kind of run-of-the-mill neighborhood. I'd say if you took the Grove and you plopped it down at any other place in Virginia, you wouldn't know the difference, sort of thing. Great neighborhood though if you want to be super close to everything and actually have some walking and biking options for food and for parks. Good spot for you. I promised to save the best for last, and it's something that most people don't know about, but people are flocking by droves because it really is that new thing everyone's looking for, and that is Winterfield Station. People love that feel of being in a neighborhood, and it feels kind of like mixing residential with retail, even though there's no retail there. It has that feel. How do I describe this neighborhood? For $600,000, you could really get one of two things. You're going to have one at the upper end, 3-story townhouses, or you may have one of the cute little detached homes. If you wanted to go with something larger, it's definitely going to be one of the more luxurious 3-story townhouses, or one of the larger detached home. What does this neighborhood feel like? It feels like a very cute little coastal neighborhood, kind of like, that's what it feels like. It feels like Charleston, or that you're down more like Jekyll Island. That's what it feels like. But the cool thing is you're right in Midlothian, and both of them will have much better prices. You're going to have at least 3 to 4 bedrooms. You're going to have at least 3 bathrooms. Even with the townhouses, that's the great thing is you'll have a rear garage. All of those have garages. And then with the detached, you'll probably have one of the detached garages for sure. All of these homes are new. All of these houses were built in the last 2 years and have just recently finished up. So all new homes. Super, super cool amenities, beautiful, beautiful floor plans and improvements. So it's going to be the quartz countertops. You're going to have all state-of-the-art appliances and fixtures. I don't think you're probably going to be finding any upgrades because everything is brand new. Main Street developed the neighborhood, and they have a really nice touch for putting all the good stuff in there for sure. Guest parking, if you do a housewarming party, okay. That's going to be an interesting one. As I noted, you do have the detached homes, and they do have the all of the different upscale townhouses and all the pretty colors. Yeah, that's why it reminds me of Jekyll Island, and why it reminds me of Charleston. It's like all these beautiful pastel colors and very coastal looking. Super, super cool to have that right there in Midlothian. For parking though, for your housewarming party, you're definitely going to want to let your neighbors know, and you're probably going to want to let the HOA know as well, so you don't get towed. They do have one area over by, there is a park right in the neighborhood that they have some overflow parking. I would probably say parking there is going to be the best thing for your friends coming to visit. Oh God, close to everything. A great grocery store, Kroger, a big giant one right there. You have your UPS store right in there. This is like a spot that I'm like always over there getting stuff. There is a great burger place that is right by Gather. If you like to row, like if that's how you like to exercise, there's even a cool little place that you can, that's what you do. It's like they have like little practice rowing things. I've never gone in there, but I have a friend that was telling me all about it that they love so much. So tons of food, tons of shopping, everything right there. If you're getting in your car, you'll be in your car then, less than 2 minutes, and everything is right there. The vibe of this neighborhood is super cool. They've got a dog park. I do want to let you know about this though, for sure. There is a very active train that runs right by there. Winterfield Station would be indicative of that. So the train is running on the regular basis. So if you have a problem with train noise, this probably isn't going to be the community for you. But like me, I have a train that runs early in the morning like that. I love the noise. It's something that really resonates with me. But the vibe is super cool. You are going to feel like you are in a coastal, upscale area if you live in Winterfield Station. Make sure to check out our other video tours for all these other Midlothian neighborhoods. We have Woodlake, we have Magnolia Green, Salisbury, and more. Please check them out. If you have any questions or if I've missed anything in this video, please put a comment down below and I will definitely get back to you with the answer. And who knows, I might even make a whole video for you. Thanks so much for joining us again on Living in Richmond, Virginia. And remember, leave everything better.